I was sent a link to it because a friend of mine thought it would be right down my alley, just humor-wise. So I watched it and I just fell in love with the voice of it. I was like, this is funny, but also smart and fresh and original, and I hadn't seen anything like it. So I immediately was like, oh my God, I want to know this person, whoever did it, and then also figure out a way to adapt it. Because I saw, it was just one scene, but I saw the potential of a feature in it. And so I kind of did some research, got an email address, emailed my phone number and said, hey, I know this sounds weird, but I saw your Comedy Central short and I want to make it into a movie. Can you please call me? And then the next day, I think, I was on the phone with Dwayne. And Dwayne was like, oh my God, I love Girls Trip. I know who you are. I've been following your work for a long time. Are you serious? And I was like, I'm absolutely serious. I would love to make this into a movie. So that was kind of like the origin of it. Somebody pointed out to me, they're like, you really love friendship, like ensemble things. And I'm like, oh, I do. It's maybe, so now it's like the third or fourth thing that I've done where it's a group of friends, college friends in particular, that get together. But I also have been dying to do a horror for a really long time. And the thing about horror movies, they're actually very similar to comedies. I think that like people don't necessarily see the overlap, but it's so clear to me. With The Blackening, weirdly, it felt like writing Girls Trip to me. It felt like, once again, I'm using an ensemble group of people and we're coming up with big jokes and big set pieces and scares every, few minutes. So it wasn't that big of a departure, but I got to finally kind of fulfill my horror dreams because I really wanted to do it. Tim is amazing, honestly. I'd always been like a fan of his work, but it never worked with him. And so my first introduction to him was a producer and then as a director. And I have to say, once he attached to direct and I got to work with him directly in a writer-director capacity, that's when my mind was blown, because I think where he and I have a synergy is we're both like unapologetically commercial minds. We don't think in terms of small audiences. We think in terms of like, how do you get a whole theater to respond? How do you get people to laugh? How do you get a big group to go out? So we're always trying to find like the biggest joke or the biggest scare, or the biggest like moment that'll play to a wide like audience. He added so much humor in the way that he blocked it and choreographed every scene. And I think the way that he interacts with actors is kind of a masterclass of comedy too, because he would never, because that cast is so funny, they would riff off the script constantly. And some people are very much like, you have to like execute the script like perfectly. And what Tim did so well was that he would let them have fun. And every now and then, like something brilliant would come out that was like unscripted because Tim let them play.